today I'm joined by the coach of the Ferocious Ferrets, Icharly from the Raikou division. Currently sitting 10th in the division with a 2-2 record, Icharly still has time to make a push for playoffs, but the margin for error is slim. This week, they face a familiar rival, Xninja of the Killing Cash. Welcome to the show, Icharly.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
It's to my understanding from Muffin that you guys have beef.
Okay, this may be the most one-sided beef on the planet.
Okay, tell me about it.
So, all right. I obviously, this is not news to anyone. I hang out with Muffin quite a bit. So therefore, there are times where we just share very similar opinions.
Right.
One of these opinions we share is about our lovely little 18-pointer, Chi-Yu. I think the mod fucking blows. Xninja. Xninja does not think the mod blows. And we've had repeated discourses about this. And yeah, and then in Sister League, when that whole thing happened, me apparently being in Flareon was an outrageous thing. So, one-sided on my end, sure. But,
Yeah.
beef nonetheless. I also just think Xninja is just wrong about a lot of things, but neither here nor there.
Well, I'm sure you guys will be able to sell this beef with this battle, even though neither of you are using Chi-Yu, so the beef doesn't really matter in this context. But yeah, yeah, the last time you guys actually met was back in season 8, where you did in fact manage to come out with the win. Yep, week 1. And maybe history will repeat itself. Who knows?
I'm hoping so. I really am hoping so. As you said, 2-2. We made some transactions last week.
Yep.
Team felt a lot more cohesive. So we're hoping that this is not just a honeymoon phase, and that we're able to ride this a bit further than just a 1 week, like the previous team. But all starts here.
Well, hopefully, let's take a look at the team, because you did make some transactions, and this will be your first week actually using these new transactions. Oh, second week?
Second.
Oh, yeah, because you made it. Okay, right. Well, with the 12th pick, you picked up Annihilate and paired it with Hizui and Samurott, which is a pretty standard like hazard stacking team, because you got Hammerot to set up the hazards and Annihilate to basically counter any hazard removal and just threaten them out. And then you got the wall breakers such as Ursaluna, Rotom Heat, and you picked up some new defensive options like Latias and Tentacruel. Lots of wish passing as well with the two of them.
Oh yeah.
With Sylveon there too, who may prove essential checking Xninja's Darkrai this week. What can you tell us about your drafting process and how you like to pilot your teams through? Because you've been with us for 3 seasons, I think.
Oh yeah, this is number 3. I would definitely say I'm a bulky offense player through and through. So a lot of my draft processes are leaning into mons that benefit that style. When I saw I was the 12th pick, me and Muffin were already discussing. We're like, man, Annihilate is a mon we would love to use, because as the spin blocker, me and him are under the same opinion that with how the meta is shaking out, especially for like BTDL, we believe that Annihilate is a better spin blocker than Goldango, because not only you obviously ghost type spin block, but also whereas Goldango you completely deny the defog, for Annihilate if something defogs in front of you, that might just be a game ender. That just might be a free sword stance is a free sword stance at the end of the day, where all I had to do was just exist. So that's something I hold the opinion of as well. So going into this, I was like, we're gonna just hope and pray that we get Annihilate plus Samurott and a Steel type. We got Annihilate and Samurott. We did not get a good Steel type initially. So took a little time to really get there for the team. Also, just for week 2 and 3, just made some weird misplays, very weird misplays. So, hoping, like I said before, that we're back to our usual style. We got our Suian Avalug, who is that's my baby boy. I just that if that's a crutch mon for me, that's the crutch mon. Drafting it every season.
Awesome. It is a battle of Avalugs because both
yeah.
you and Ninja have a different form of Avalug. But I'm not surprised to hear you say that you feel most comfortable with a bulky offense because you are Muffin's friend.
Oh yeah.
And he also enjoys that. How did you Muffin? I'm assuming Muffin got you into draft in the first place, right? Yeah. And was a BTDL your first league?
Yeah. So BTDL was my first league. So this will be an extra little bit of context. So me and Muffin both came from the Smite community. Something where we talk a very similar way about things. We're both we're not egotistical, but we're confident people because of that.
Yep.
So we were both playing Smite together, and it was back when he was running his own personal Pokemon League. He was like, "Hey, doing this thing. Do you want to join it?" I go, 100%. This is fun. And then after a season of that, he looked at me, Boss, and Spooky. Shout out Redemption, 2-time Redemption champion, by the way. And was like, "Hey, I think you three would have a ton of fun in this, and I think you three are developing in a way to where this would be really beneficial for you guys if you guys wanted to play more competitive Pokemon." And all three of us were like, 100%. All three of our first seasons were a little rocky. None of us ended up making top playoffs. We all managed to kind of fall just short. Me and Bops had a pretty good last season. Bops more so than me. But this season, the goal is we're catching back up to Bops. Because Bops just progressed at an insane rate.
Yeah, he really did.
The biggest thing that I can shout out there is his willingness to make the patient play is so commendable. Because we'll talk about things and he'll see lines that I just never saw because I'm impatient. So Boss is like, "Oh yeah, you could have done this. Its line takes about like 5 more turns, but I think you secure it more." I go, "Thanks, Bops."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's kind of how VTDL came to be for me. Was a Muffin recommendation, and this is like my big league every single time. I'm like, "Ooh, VTDL is around." 100% locking in for this one.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, let's take a look at your matchup. Xninja's team poses a major threat, featuring his first pick Darkrai as both a special wall breaker and step sweeper. His MVP Terra Palmot, who's racked up 8 kills, still gone deathless. Oops, sorry, that's my alarm for this interview.
Ooh.
So it's still deathless. Maybe you can pick up that first death on Palmot, but add to that his reliable fire, grass, water defensive core and his disruptive Uxie capable of spreading paralysis and setting hazards. You've got like a pretty serious challenge ahead. I know Xninja is very confident in himself as well. How do you plan on breaking through this team and setting up victory for yourself, especially with playoffs right around the corner?
So, because this is all coming out after the game, right?
Yep.
I can freely talk about. Okay. So a lot of it is going to be centered around our lovely little friend, Hisuian Avalug, with no surprise.
Okay.
Turns out that a Palmot can't really kill an Avalug easily. So, especially with the right Terra type, we can just kind of make it so the Palmot basically never kills us. And thankfully, as you mentioned before, our good friend Sylveon takes like 30 from a Sludge Bomb, which is notably not 50. So we can kind of run our standard Whisper Tech. We can run the Sylveon set. You know the 4 moves. We can just
Sylveon set.
Yep. It's the Sylveon set. So it's a lot of that. He, like you said, he does have a lot of scary things. But fortunately for me, it's a lot of scary things where I happen to have like, oh, I can have 2 Pokemon for this, 1 Pokemon for that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of gonna be around me preserving the pieces I need to preserve, and just making sure I'm setting up the loops where things like my Ursaluna, things like the Annihilate are able to come in, click their button, and then we just go to a defensive check, set up the same loop
Mm-hmm.
until all 6 Pokemon are dead.
Yeah. Right on. Well, after this week's battle, you have 2 more regular season matches remain, and every win, every point of differential is going to be the difference between making or missing playoffs.
Mhm.
Win or lose this week, do you feel confident in your ability to make the final push for playoffs? And do you have any personal goals you're hoping to accomplish before the season wraps up?
So, I think win or lose, I think I'm confident that I can make that final push to playoffs. I think that this team this team after transactions feels more cohesive, I have more tools to use,
Right.
and I feel like I can kind of make that final push because I just feel more confident in my prep now with this team.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously my personal goal, I want to end at that 5-2 range. I think that 5-2 range gives me a similar spot of last season to my playoffs, where I ended at the same record. Um, Quarters were just a little unfortunate, tragically,
Yeah.
but I feel like if I can get back to where I was, I can make that same push.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that my confidence, no matter what win or lose this week, I don't think I'm going to shake my confidence like I did week 2 and 3. I feel like any mistakes I make going forward are going to be more so the small mistakes, not the overarching big mistakes like last couple weeks, where it felt like I was losing the game off of like stuff I was doing in season 7, where I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you're throwing away games because you straight up are just miscalcing or just slow, like playing too fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I haven't looked at the matchups too deep because I'm definitely a 1 week at a time person,
Yeah, of course.
where I do my prep a week out. Like this Xninja prep has been done for like I want to say like 5 days now. like,
Oh, yeah? Wow.
like it's been done. I'm an over prepper, to a fault. I'll gladly. I think week 1. I think I played before the announcement of week 1 was out. Like I played that Sunday before week 1 because I was like I'm just itching to go. My prep's been done,
Yeah.
guys. Let's get at it.
You're eager
So,
beaver.
oh no, I'm super. I look prepping and playing. That's the fun part. Scheduling,
Mm-hmm.
that's the unfun part. So if we get that out early as possible, just more time to prep and play.
Hey, we appreciate early schedulers. We
Yeah.
always do. All right. Well, that's basically all I have for questions for today. Thanks again, Icharly, for taking the time to chat with me this week. Do you have any final thoughts or messages you'd like to share with the community or your competitors before we sign off?
Um, I'd say honestly, personally, I actually haven't got the shout out much. Shout out Corza. Uh,
Okay.
I from like I think that was quite possible. The Corza success story is something I've been following so closely because the past 2 seasons, I feel like watching Corza was like flashes of brilliance, and then things would go so tragic in the last
Mm-hmm.
5 turns of the game. And like the difference this season is night and day. I'm sitting here, I'm rooting for every
Yeah.
Corza win.
They
I'm
they're
ecstatic on a
kicking
Corza
ass.
win.
They're
He's
definitely
absolutely killing it.
they're definitely like a comeback coach.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Runner.
That's my vote for the comeback coach already. I can very confidently say that's my vote. Because like the people I expected to perform really well were like your Jasons, your Bastions, your
Mm-hmm.
Xninjas, your Coconuts. Corso was like, oh, I'm so happy for it because the guy is sick at Pokemon. It's just he sometimes just makes mistakes.
Yeah.
It's like the game losing mistakes. So I'm really happy to see Corza just absolutely kill it this season. That's my dog right there. Never talked to the guy, but that's my dog right there.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming out,
Of
Charlie.
course. Thank you.
And
Thanks for having me.
yeah, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Today I'm joined by the coach of the Kill and Cash Xninja from the Raikou division. Welcome to the show, Xninja.
What's up?
You're currently sitting 5th in the standings with a strong 3-1 record. You've put together quite the impressive season so far, with your Palmat leading the charge and currently on pace for an MVP caliber season. This week you're facing off against your rival, the Ferocious Ferrets, coached by Icharly. And I've heard from Muffin Man that there's a bit of a rivalry brewing between you two. Can you deny or confirm that?
I mean, I wouldn't call it a rivalry.
What would you call it?
Beef?
Beef, okay.
Yeah.
What's the history behind that?
So, like, Muffin doesn't like Chiyu, and Icharly just follows Muffin. So I beef with both of them, because they diss on Chiyu, even though I get 28 kills with that thing, so...
Fair enough. Well, you guys have faced each other before, back in week 1 of last season, where Icharly came out on top with 3-0 victory. Are you hoping to maybe even the odds, even the score here this week?
I'm hoping.
You're hoping?
Yeah, not looking good.
Oh no. Well, let's take a look at your team first before we go into that matchup. With that 13th pick in the draft, you grabbed yourself Darkrai as your first rounder, a very dangerous pick with tons of flexibility, followed by Landorus Therian to anchor your defense and pivot game. Then you rounded things off with a very solid Fire, Water, Grass core is very very bulky with Heatran and Primarina. And of course your Terra Captain and current MVP frontrunner Palmat, who's been absolutely dominant at 8-0 so far. Can you give us a quick breakdown on your team and how you've been able to pilot it to this level of success throughout the first half of the season? And what's really been clicking for you this time around compared to previous seasons?
Yeah, so, like, at the very start, like, this is a very... It might not look offensive, but compared to what I'm used to, it's very offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm way more used to, like, reactive play with lots of healing. And this team doesn't really have a lot of healing, other than Recover Avalugg and Synthesis Arena.
Yep.
So, it's been really hard to, like, adjust. And I've had some friends helping me, like, try to play more offensively, which is why my, like, first 3 games didn't go too well, because I was trying to, like, build and play differently.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm starting to, like, switch back to my usual play style.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Which is,
like, more reactive.
More reactive. Okay, fair enough, yeah. Awesome. Well, you were able to pick up wins, 2 wins and 1 loss in those first 3 games. And then you came back with a very dominant 6-0 victory last week. You feeling confident going into this matchup? Now that we
Not
can...
at all.
No?
Not
Well,
at all.
Icharly, despite they haven't had the strongest start to the season compared to you, but Icharly's team is still extremely dangerous, and they have been a pretty strong competitor in the Raikou division in previous seasons. They have Samurott to set up those hazards and Annihilate to apply that pressure to your hazard removers, and of course those strong wall breakers ready to take advantage whenever they have the chance to break through your defenses. How do you plan on to approach this matchup? And are there any particular threats you've identified that you need to neutralize early on? Do you have a win condition you're hoping to set up?
So, to be clear, this isn't going to come out until after
Yep, that's
the
correct.
game. So, scary things is pretty much everything. There's Annihilate, which I struggle against a lot, like in previous games, so that thing's always scary. Samurott getting the spikes, especially if they land all of them, it's really annoying. And then Rotom Heat just is unguardable for me. Like
Mhm.
Scarf, Overheat plus Volt Switch just shreds my team.
Right.
Like I cannot stop it at all.
You have
My
a
only
Flash
win
Fire
condition
Heatran.
I mean, I guess, but it can just Volt Switch all over. It's like
Mhm.
I go Heatran and just Specs, or not Specs, but Scarf Volt Switch.
Yep.
Does a lot. My win condition, I think, is Darkrai, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
Psyshock. If I can chip down Hammerot,
Mhm.
yeah, I think Darkrai.
Darkrai is your win
Because the
condition.
fastest thing is Latias, so I can go Modest and
Is it-
just click
yeah.
Dark Pulse.
It is a very like, not very, but like it is a slow team. But
Yeah.
like, there's lots of Scarf abusers on that team as well,
Have to be careful about that.
for sure. And well, the playoff race is still heating up into the second half of the season. And with your positive record going into these last couple of weeks, you got a pretty strong shot at locking in that playoff berth. How are you feeling about your remaining matches? Do you think your team has what it takes to make like a deep run into the playoffs?
So after this game, I feel confident about the last two games. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I can finish 5-2. But like as of the standings right now, like the 8th ranked is 2-2. So
Yep.
like it's gonna be really, even if I do finish like 5-2, I'm still not gonna be like top 2, 3, maybe top 3.
Mm-hmm. So you're
And
looking at a lower seeding.
yeah, even if I do well. And as of a playoff run, these last like couple seasons I've been coming off like the regular season like really hot. So I think I make a solid playoff run if I do make playoffs.
And coming off that season hot is going to give you that confidence to really make that push into the playoffs against those strong competitive teams.
Mhm.
Well, that's basically all the questions I have for you today, Xninja. Thank you so much for coming out and letting me interview you.
Thank you.
Best of luck in your matchup against Icharly. It's sure to be one of the most anticipated games of the week, and I'm sure Muffin, of course, wants to see how that beef plays out.
Yeah, I think they're going to get me this time,
You think so?
unfortunately.
But before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or words you'd like to share with the community or your competitors?
Hoping to promote. I've said that a lot, but
Yeah,
this season I really want to get it done.
make
I
your
think
way.
I can do it. But
Yeah, you can join all those Raikou promotees in
Yeah.
Entei.
I got to beat Tito and Never Saw. I've already avenged against Tito, but I still got to play Never Saw.
Yeah, fair enough. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Xninja, and take care.
All right, see ya.